Good morning from a horse farm in Indiana. I know that sounds random, but welcome to van life. This just happens to be on my destination on this trip that Black Dog and I are doing. And it's beautiful. And the best part, it's free. So that's cool. So the reason why I titled this as budget, sort of, is because it did start out as a budget. I decided to take the cheapest route at the time, which was this 2000 Chevy Express. And it really did start out as a budget build. I bought the van for $1,900 in 2017, so it's been 5 years. It had 210,000 miles on the odometer, but it ran. I mean, no AC or anything like that. So that's how my van life began. I gutted it. I did just like a bare bones minimal build. You can kind of see some of the video here. And that was it. That took us on 2 long-term adventures. I do not live in it full-time. I live in it probably 4 months out of the year on long adventures such as this one. And if you're into adventures, you should subscribe to my channel because we take it on lots of adventures. So I guess we'll start with the outside. Those are 2 100-watt Renogy solar panels. So I have 200 watts of total solar power. So from there, I didn't do too much to the van exterior. I kind of painted the wheels, blacked out the grille, all new lights, all LEDs, LED light bar. And so that's pretty much it for the exterior. I guess let's start with the garage. Dude, I've done so much of this stuff. I know I'm gonna forget lots of things. Anyway, so the door panels, I kind of gutted the stock door panel and built some shelving and stuff for supplies. On this side, I gutted it out and put in a coffee station. Dude, if you have a van and don't have a coffee station, what world are you living in? Anyway, so back here, you can kind of see where the bed is. So it's kind of high up here. Extended this out. I just put this in recently, so it's kind of a new shelf for more supplies and stuff. And I kind of painted it. You can kind of see when light hits it just right. It says Explore. I just basically used some stencil and used 2 different types of paint. So one's gloss, one's matte finish. I just wanted it to be kind of barely there. Back here's where I keep all my paper supplies, all my chairs, canopies. I've got a hammock back here. Here's where I built out my cooking supplies. So I've got my Coleman 2-burner grill. I've got cutting board, pots and pans. I cook like every day, so I wanted to have nice stuff for that. In my bag is where I keep all my seasonings, oils, spatulas, all that kind of stuff. This is the fridge. This is an Alpacool fridge, which I'm very, very pleased with. It actually holds more stuff than you would think. Got a couple IPAs there, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Eggs. I've got meats. I've got chicken thighs and some pork chops back here and some hummus. Toolbox. Yeah, lots of tools. Here's one thing about owning an old van. You're gonna have a lot of issues. So, I've got the water here. I've got 3-gallon jugs. So I always roll with like 9 gallons of water. This little thing is awesome. It just goes right on top. It's very cool. Toolbox, pretty organized. I've got all my basic tools up here. A lot of camp stuff, so I've got like tarps, all kinds of drill bits, socket sets, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Oil filter wrench. This one's anything electrical, so anything from wire, fuses, voltmeter, all kinds of, really anything you would need. And then this one is like construction stuff, screws, bolts, nuts, drill bits. I don't know, project stuff. And then over here is the important stuff. You know, you gotta have some fine bourbons. Some more car stuff. There's an outlet right here. I've got curtains. So like, if I'm parked at night and I'm not comfortable, you can black everything out back here. I do have a light, little light switch right here. I've got LEDs all through here. You can't really see them during the day, but all this lights up. And then moving on to the inside. It is not super clean because, as I said, I am on the road. No, I'm just kidding, I cleaned a little bit. All right, moving into the magic. So inside, we've got, on this first door, I actually took the factory panel off and built these little trays. So I've got here like toothbrush, deodorant, all that kind of stuff. Gotta have your vitamins, man, and moisturizer. Gotta moisturize. Trash, pee bottles. I know that's gross, but whatever, it's van life. Over here I've got these little curtains for these front windows. They're just held on by magnets. Another outlet so that I can plug in right there and work outside, which is one of my favorite things to do. In here I've got towels, we've got shirts, we've got pants, we've got a dog barking. Bed is, it does go side to side. I'm too tall to sleep side to side, so I do sleep like diagonal, but mattress is super comfy. I built it from scratch with some Amazon 6-inch memory foam. It's awesome. It's one of the comfiest beds I've ever slept on. I actually prefer this to like my bed at home. Up here it used to have like these kind of panels from the factory. I just cut this little middle part out of this, so gave me more room for storage for things like dude wipes, dog ear wipes, various things like that. Over here, we've got more storage, factory stuff, lots of books, a big reader. You know, things to do on the road, gotta read. And over on this side, I did the same thing. I cut this middle part out, and we've got camera stuff, tripods, all that kind of stuff. Moving on here, we've got, I built a control panel. This will turn on and off the AC/DC converter. This will actually track what my solar is like. So my battery's at 100% right now. You can kind of see what kind of charge is coming in. It's a little cloudy, so it's bringing in like 80 watts, but it's plenty enough for me. Little switches here for lights. A fan, which is surprisingly strong. Over here I got pantry with some of my favorite foods, bananas, dog treats, a belt. More stuff, all my canned goods. I love soup in a can. It's awesome for on the road. I don't even heat it up. I just heat it right out of the can. Shoes, dog bowls. And then behind here, we have 12-inch sub, which is funny because I listen to like 99% podcasts, so, but they do sound good. And further on back here, I've got a backpack with more clothes, dirty clothes, and some various other things like some max tracks and emergency stuff. Battery is right here. It's a 200 amp hour battery from Renogy. And then all the electronics are right here, the converter, the solar charge controller, somewhere, amplifier. The solar charge controller is like the really nice one from Renogy. It charges the battery really fast from the solar panels, but it also, like if it's cloudy or whatever, I can run the vehicle. It's got a DC to DC charger in it as well, so, which is kind of cool. We've got desk. This is kind of one of my favorite things. flush mounted a little outlet right there. Lots of important things inside here, like GoPro battery charger, GoPro stuff, a freaking harmonica. That's right. And then we have Onyx's bed. Just got this one, Serta, super soft. I mean, he's an old dog. He's got old bones. And he's listening to us. He was kind enough to make his bed this morning, which is nice. A little foldable table here. Up front, I did install a swivel seat, which is awesome. Makes for my favorite place. It's basically my desk. And moving on up here towards the front, I've got my hat collection. Lots of hats. I'm a big hat guy. We have all the cold clothes, so like all my winter stuff is up here, which I desperately need sometimes lately on this trip. So that's all up in there. I've got some extra blankets and stuff up there. Carbon monoxide, socks, lots of socks. Big sock guy, strong sock game. This is like a curtain. So that's like if I sleep somewhere where I'm not comfortable or whatever, I can block the front off. And then over here is, this is new. This is a table I just built. So I just, it'll go up like that. And then when the door closes, that's where I work. So I guess the main reason why I called this video sort of a budget build is because of the fact that it started that way. It started out as a budget build. I probably had maybe $3,000 into the maybe $4,000 into the entire thing. But over the years, over the last 5 years, things happen. I mean, it was an old van. I had 200,000+ miles when I got it. So 2020 sucked for all of us, but I used it. I worked my butt off and ended up with a new engine, a new transmission, replaced every electrical component in the front. I mean, everything, every sensor, every hose, alternator, every accessory. So like everything in the van is brand new. Suspension is all brand new. The brakes are brand new. I had issues with the brakes overheating in the mountains, like when I was going downhill. So we upgraded those to like cross-drilled and slotted rotors and upgraded to a little bit bigger brakes from a 3500. So that's when I say sort of, because that $4,000 originally has turned into probably 3 times that at this point. But don't care, everything's paid off. It's great. We're on this trip right now. We're doing 8,000 miles. This is our second trip with the new engine and transmission. It works flawlessly, man. It works awesome. The good thing about these older vehicles is parts are so cheap. Get an old Chevy or get an old Ford, it's so cheap to replace it. So I'm glad with my decision. If you like this, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I check YouTube regularly. And if you like this and you want to see more adventure content, please consider subscribing, because we're about to release season 2 of this epic journey. We're going from Florida to like Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, all these different places. So lots of adventures coming up. So please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.
So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.